Hi, this is David Howard Thornton, but you might know me as Art the Clown from the movie Terrifier, and you're listening to the Night of the Living Dreads podcast. Kill you later.
All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm Otis B. Dreds, and of course we have Jackal Monkey riding shotgun tonight. It is not a trio as it has been. Mrs. Dreds is here, but she's running around playing fucking Betty Crocker. You'll probably hear her slamming dishes in the background, or maybe you won't. Hopefully we won't. But it doesn't matter. She's trying to get a little festive, you know, getting the she's got Krampus is actually playing on the TV, which is ironic because that's going to be something that we're going to start the show off with here in just a few minutes. Welcome everyone. This is episode 86. And we're just cruising right on along. We got, what, about 10 days, 11 days or something, you know? Until
11 days till Christmas.
God, I don't even want to think about it.
Damn it.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. But anyway, you know, I guess it's the end of 2020. And, you know, 2020 is bad enough. Our podcast is not as bad as 2020's been to us. I can guarantee that. So go check it out over there at nightoftheLivingDreads.com. Dreads with no A if you're not familiar with how we spell around this joint. And you can also, you know, a lot of people are getting their podcasts now from different, you know, other podcasts, you know, I guess sites, hosting sites, you know, places like Stitcher and Spotify, which coincidentally enough, bam, those two, search us Night of the Living Dreads over there, both Spotify and Stitcher. You can listen there. And, of course, the group. We have a page and a group. The group is where all the good stuff happens. That's where they hand out the really good medication.
Oh yeah,
that's where the comedian comes out in everyone. No, we have a good time over there, and we also will post the podcast, all the new episodes. We post on both of those, and those usually come out Wednesdays. Is when you know, like to get them out. So look forward to when you guys are listening to this. It will be Wednesday at some point. It is not as we're recording it, but oh my goodness. And yeah, you know, and why don't you also tell us, Jackal Monkey, because you have a nice little talent, you know. When it comes to like mask and keeping the, you know, the horror vibe alive. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a little too late now to get anything from me before Christmas,
right.
But you can always put in an order. I'm always wanting to do it. I do custom masks, mostly Friday the 13th hockey masks, but I can do any kind of custom face mask as far as, you know, anything latex. I do body parts, different kinds of props, fake axes. You know, that sort of thing. So, awesome. Nightmare Ninja Studios on Facebook. Check me out. See anything you like, let me know. Send me a message, and I'll make your nightmares a reality.
There you go. Oh, that's good. That's a good little tagline. And I'm gonna tell you what, man. I can actually, you know, attest to your work. I have a Michael Myers mask that I've just here recently got from you, because that's your little paint job, ain't it?
Yeah, I totally repainted that and redid the hair on it, because, I mean, the hair that was on it, oh my God, it was atrocious. I mean,
some of them are really bad, yeah.
Yes, and some of them are great. I mean, I've seen some of them that come out, you know, that they're not, I mean, they don't look bad. I mean, by any means, but some of them it's just like, geez Louise, what the hell happened here?
Yeah. I got one that was supposed to be, you know, kind of like a replica of like the 2018 one that came out, the Blumhouse.
Yeah.
And no, I mean the face, okay. And the hair looked like, you know, his hair, somebody put a crimper on it. You know, it's like all wavy. Like, I was like, when the fuck did Michael Myers start crimping his fucking hair?
When did he get fucking wavy hair? What the hell is going on
What
here?
is happening? And then I got one and paid pretty much about the same price. There's a local Halloween store. That's, you know, the guy who owns it pretty much, you know, he owns a bunch of realty here, you know, in this city. And he's got a lot of cool shit, and I went and paid right around the same amount for like an older looking 1978 Michael Myers mask, and the hair's good. The you know, the white face, you know, it looks really good. It's the one that I would always wear when, you know, I don't know if I ever worn one. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but anyway, yeah, you gotta, you know, buyer beware. But you know, I don't think you have to worry about that with you, Jackal Monkey, man. I'm happy with my Michael Myers mask, and you're actually working on a little Jason mask as we speak, aren't you? Well, not as we speak.
Oh yeah, a few actually. Yeah, a few of them actually. Working on one of them for a buddy of mine, and one for you actually. So.
Sweet. I can't wait. I do have one kind of a cheaper, you know, replica. I'd like to have a good, sturdy, you know, nicely made one, you know.
This one's badass. And like, as I get all my blanks from 6 feet of separation. Okay. And they I mean, Jeremiah over there, he's an absolute badass. He has different grades, different types of plastic that you can actually get your mask, your blanks from him with, which a lot of the other people that offer blanks, they don't do that.
Right. But, so is it kind of like a protection for the actual blank itself, like a layer of protection kind of deal? What is it?
Not really. It's I mean, there's the ones that I like to use is polystyrene, which, I mean, it's kind of softer a little bit, but it's way stronger than just regular resin, and it doesn't have nearly the flex that the PET G masks have, like the clear plastic ones, because a lot of them, they'll be like a clear plastic. You know, and they'll have a lot of flex to them, but this one, I mean, there's not really hardly any flex, and it's hard as a rock. Like, it's badass.
So the durability is there. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to get. I can't wait to get mine. And was it Nightmare Ninja Studios? Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Nightmare Ninja Studios.
Sweet. And hey, maybe we'll drop their Facebook page down in the description for this here podcast. This here episode. We're going to I tell you what, because you're from Texas, which is where our main topic is going to come from, but we'll get to that here just momentarily. In the meantime, we're gonna talk a little Krampus. Just a little bit. It is, as we mentioned, what, about 11 days until the fun holiday of Christmas. And I came across this little article from ScreenRant.com that says it says that my music is not cooperating with me. It's supposed to be for dramatic effect, and it did not work out as planned. Anyway, it is back, and here we go. ScreenRant.com. Was there any truth about the legend of Krampus from the movie in 2015, which ironically Mrs. Dreds is watching now? the movie Krampus, which is said to be probably one of the most popular horror Christmas movies out there. That is usually, up there in most people's, top 5, top 3. It's definitely in my top 3. So, but did they get anything, right or wrong, or what did they get right and wrong? And it turns out that they really did a good job. The director, Michael Dougherty, they said that he was relatively accurate when it came to Krampus's origins.
Yeah.
And you've seen this. You've seen, the movie Krampus. This guy's kind of like he kind of goes off with the whole half goat, half fucking person type deal, right?
Right. Like the satyrs, like there was the old pagan gods and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, the old pagan gods, they had horn gods that were a lot of them were mischievous and kind of evil. Which it kind of fits.
I guess it does. There were some funny things that I came across looking into what some researchers have looked into, this whole folklore Krampus, that is, and some would say, and I thought this was humorous, I don't know if you've come across this little fact, but some say that actually depicts Santa Claus in a sleigh, okay, but with a little side cart. Like a little sidecar extending off of the sleigh that fucking Krampus sits in. I swear, man.
The gruesome twosome.
Right, man. It's like the twins of evil or something.
But wait, I thought Santa was good.
Right.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he has Krampus riding fucking shotgun with his his wicker basket full of fucking either kids or switches or soon to be kids. This guy was pretty brutal. But, honestly, is Krampus really all that bad? Because kids would act up, even if you threaten, Santa Claus isn't going to bring you no toys, or he's going to give you a lump of coal. Did that really fucking work at all? I have kids. You have a daughter. Does that work?
Hell no. Whenever I was a kid, my grandma used to get me with, go get me a switch off the tree in the backyard. I'm going to meet you. He's doing the same thing. Except for the whole dragging them to hell.
Yeah. My mom didn't have that much time. Christmas was a busy time, and she had a lot of things to prepare for. She didn't have time to go to hell and back.
Too much stuff to do.
Yeah, but it's like no. So it's like it didn't work by using Santa Claus, the good guy, as kind of a tool to whip these kids into acting right. So now we have a half goat, half man, demonic, what they call the Christmas devil. Okay, who will kidnap you, drag you to fucking hell, beat you with sticks and twigs, throw you in a bag. There's different things that, different parts of Europe would have different versions of the folklore. But the one that's most commonly known here in the States, what we've probably all heard is what they say is very accurately portrayed in the 2015 movie Krampus, which I thought was pretty cool, man. That they kind of stuck true to that whole deal.
Yeah, true to the roots from where the actual folklore and everything. Yeah.
Right. So there you go. If you haven't seen 2015's Krampus, and I keep having to put it that way, the very first Krampus, there's a lot of little spin-offs that are very lackluster. They're not good. If you can stomach it,
Unleashed.
Krampus. Yeah. Oh my God! And then they have one called Krampus: The Origins, and then they have was it Mother Krampus?
Yeah, Mother Krampus.
Yeah, they actually have two.
That one's got a sequel too.
It does. It does. So your night can be full of Krampus. Not all worth the watch. You remember you won't get that time back, but you can walk away and say, yeah, that movie sucked, but I stuck it out and I watched all of it. I toughed it out, and and yeah, I don't get that time back anyway. Let's go right into who we're going to talk about. You actually brought this to my attention because it's actually not too far from where you call home, which I think I might have briefly mentioned, Texas. Right
outside Waco.
Right outside Waco. So why don't you tell me, because we're going to be talking about Kenneth McDuff and stuff.
H.R. McDuffin stuff.
H.R. McDuffin stuff. It should be K.A. because I think it's Kenneth Allen McDuff. K.A. McDuffin stuff. Against serial killer from the Waco area and surroundings. They said at least 14 murders he's suspected of. I think the range is like 9 to 14. Why don't you give us a little rundown on this guy? You brought is this like one of those? It's kind of cool, I think, anyway. But that's just how my mind works. That if I know that, okay, wow, 20 miles from my house, maybe there was a serial killer.
Right, that's what got me was something local, because I had a buddy of mine whenever I moved out here, Chris Big Nasty Lopez,
Nasty.
He was Big Nasty. Shout out to old Big Nasty. Yeah, he was. We were talking about serial killers, and he was like, there's a serial killer from here, right? And I was like, no way. Sure enough, yeah. He's like, yeah, his name was Kenneth Allen McDuff, and started looking into it, and yeah, dude, this guy's a fucking monster, like, and it's crazy because, all right, like, his first victims, he killed 3 people back in '66, right?
Right.
All right, him and his buddy went and picked up these three people. He got out of his car. Two guys and a girl.
Right.
They were all like the girl was 16. Her boyfriend, he was 17, and like his cousin who was like 15.
15, yeah. I think,
yeah. I mean, all young, very young teenagers. Makes all of them get in the trunk of their car. Gets in their car, has his buddy follow them out to like a secluded area, gets them all out of the trunk, shoots both of the guys, puts them in the trunk, leaves them, somewhere, leaves them, out in the field, and then they drive off, take the girl to a secluded area where they rape her, torture her, rape her with a broomstick, and then he proceeds to choke her to death with the broomstick, like putting it over her throat and just
having a
down,
hand on both sides and just kind of crushing like her entire airway, just little by little. What a fucking brutal, excruciating way to fucking take your last breath or your last seconds on Earth. My God, because you don't hear. I mean, we've heard. I know I have. A lot of our listeners probably have too. A lot of really interesting ways that serial killers will go about taking their fucking victims, but not so much a broomstick. In fact, that was one of his names.
Like that.
Yeah, they actually named him the Broomstick Killer.
Yeah, that's where he earned his nickname. Yeah, wow. And he ended up getting convicted of that. Sentenced to murder. He was sentenced to death. He was supposed to die by the electric chair, but the Supreme Court ended up overturning a bunch of stuff. Yeah. But all of the inmates that were on death row just gave them life in prison. Which then ended up making them eligible for parole.
Right. Actually, I have this little article from crimemuseum.org about McDuff and stuff, and it says right here, as we what we're talking about, as a result of the suspension of the death penalty in 1972 and the overcrowding in Texas prisons, many prisoners were not serving out their full sentences. As a result, McDuff was given parole in October 1989. Although never officially connected, another suspected McDuff victim was Seraphia Parker. Okay, well, that's whose body was found 3 days after McDuff was released from prison. And going against, I think their better judgment, because that's a story in a story. This story is like two of them, because you have to look at the Texas judicial system and the whole parole thing, and they kind of had their hands forced to put dangerous fucking criminals back out on the street, knowing that they are going to kill again. A couple of the sheriffs and people that worked on the parole board was like, we know he's going to kill. We know. It's just a matter of time. And I think it was only, 3-4 days later was when they started finding bodies showing up again.
3 days. 3 days later is when he started killing again.
So what's your thoughts on that then? From the legality of it all and how that all, because this case is a lot bigger than just the brutality of McDuff and the victims that lay in his way.
Yeah, for sure.
Mean, this was shit that changed the laws in Texas.
Right. There were laws changed because of that. They actually, the McDuff laws, they actually came into effect because of this shit. Like, I mean,
Duff pass.
Right. I mean, he freaking killed so many freaking people. Yeah. And then just can't even put it into words right now.
It's hard to comprehend that this guy was just able to walk around.
And what's crazy, I mean, that's the whole thing too. Is like the whole, like you were saying, it's the political judicial side. Like, they were just letting people out, 150 criminals a day. You know what I mean? And at first, it was just faulty check riders and car thieves and that sort of thing, but eventually, they can only let out so many.
Yeah, you're going to run out of those.
Eventually, you're going to run out of, and then you're going to get to where you get to the very, very bad people. You get to the McDuffs and the other vile fucking monsters like him, and they got out. Several of them got out. And just wreaked havoc all across fucking Texas. Yeah.
And that's just nuts.
Yeah, it was a very fucking crazy time. I mean, I wasn't alive during that time, but I mean, I was born in '85, so I mean, I was maybe a wee lad, at least whenever old McDuff and stuff got out, but. Yeah, I mean, it was like the 70s and early 80s. Apparently, it was like a fucking free-for-all here. Like, it was insane.
That's what it sounded like. I mean, and old McDuff and stuff didn't have a problem enjoying his time, because he became, a pretty heavy drinker. And he loved the rough sex and crack cocaine and drinking and things. It sounds like a fucking party, right? I guess it got the
peanut butter and crack sandwich.
Peanut butter crack sandwich. Oh my goodness. It was here's one instant that sent him back, because here's the thing. Here, let's just make this perfectly clear. Here's the situation. Now, when he was let out, when we said he was paroled, remember, he was on fucking death row. He was convicted of crimes, 3 murders back in the 60s that we talked about.
3 fucking murders. And he gets out.
Right. He gets taken off of death row, given life, then later on given fucking parole. In a matter of 17 fucking years, since that, suspension of the death penalty, and it's 17 years because that happened in 72. In 89, boom, he's out. Beginning of October, he's walking the streets just in time for the holidays. Good for him.
Yep.
He was spending with family. Might not be his own, but
he's spending it with hookers.
You're right.
Yes.
Or
3 days. 3 days later, he's back to killing and shit again.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's just just crazy when you really sit down and think about that. Somebody on death row, the state has already said this person deserves to fucking die for what they've done. Okay,
right,
yep, your time's
and
up, McDuff. Have a good day. Out.
Right, and that's exactly what Sheriff Parnell McNamara. That's exactly what he was saying. He was like, "Mark my words, it's going to be, it might be 3 days, it might be 3 weeks, it might be 3 months, but the bodies are going to start turning up again." And sure enough, he was dead fucking on. 3 fucking days later, there were bodies turning up.
I think it was in close proximity to the prison, wasn't it? I mean, he wasn't, that far away from the prison, if I'm not mistaken.
And then one of them, because after he'd gotten out, he said, "Oh, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do good." He started going to the local technical college here, TSTC, which I actually attended. Culinary school there. Wow. But that's he was going there and then working at the local Quick Pack at nighttime. And
good old Quick Pack. Yeah,
good old Quick Pack. But he worked at Quick Pack not even like a month, and then ended up quitting there. And then it was right back to his old ways. Of course, it was just. Trying to pull wool over people's eyes. He's trying to do better, but he fucking wasn't. He was just doing back to his old stuff.
Well, right. I mean, and I think the shit was so bad with him as far as this want and this lust and this need. It was like a drug addiction, to rape these women, to torture them, to beat the shit out of them, to eventually kill them. That need was so great, and he just couldn't, fucking turn down the urge anymore. It was just bound to fucking happen. I mean, I think that pool was too big inside of them. They just seen something, I think some of them, I don't know if it was Sheriff McNamara, I don't know if it was him or not. But in one of the documentaries I watched, he said that one of them said that he just didn't have any like kind of fucking emotion. You knew something was fucking wrong with him, but you just couldn't put your fucking finger on it. Like, this guy is off, dude.
Yeah, he was just like an empty. He was like an empty shell. Like, right. He had no emotion. Like, you could tell he had no remorse. No, for anything that he'd done.
Right.
Just a cold-blooded, just callous monster.
Yeah, and and that was before he was released, and so needless to say, there were a lot of people in law enforcement. There was a lot of people within the on the parole board and within the prison system that were looking at each other like, is this really fucking happening? There had to have been. And, some are probably, with blinders on, like, don't ask questions. Just do what you're told. Okay. Right. Triple homicide. Have a good life. Quick Pack's hiring. Good luck. I mean, it's wow, man. It's like, McDuff, pass. What? No, fail him. He doesn't pass.
And it's funny that you mentioned the Quick Pack, too, because one of his later victims, one of his final victims, she worked at the Quick Pack at nighttime. And since he worked there, he knew that there was no security. He knew it was shit. So he knew he could get in and out and not make a sound. So he went in there and kidnapped the woman that was working in there who was pregnant, and ended up taking her hostage and tortured and raped her, murdered her, and dumped her in a river or a lake somewhere, lake near here. And then a fisherman ended up finding her body, days later. But
right, yeah. I think it's Melissa Northrop. Is that the one you're talking about?
Melissa Ann Northrop.
And she was actually the senior manager's wife. And it's said that good old McDuff and stuff. He just had this kind of fascination with Melissa. And he had like a little crush on her. Right? And he said that he mentioned to, I guess, his partners in crime at that point, whoever that would be, maybe the last drifter.
Worley.
Worley, right? Is that what his name was? Worley or some shit?
Yeah. Worley.
We squirrely Worley.
Good old
Worley, boy, I tell you what.
Good old Worley.
That boy has some good work ethic. Old squirrely Worley.
Squirrely Worley. Squirrely Worley ratted his ass out.
He did, man. What a fink. But he I guess, would talk to, Worley and whatnot and be like, man, we could rob this fucking place. I used to work there. We could rob this place. The bitch is, that's working there is pretty fucking hot. And then we can take her. And like you said, they ended up, fucking abducting her. And, they, and launched a little investigation, of course, because she didn't come home that night. And they actually,
they found,
there were some eyewitnesses.
And they found his car like a block away at a nearby motel. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he was gone. It's kind of like, why is his car here? But he's gone. So then they kind of put two and two together. Given his past record, so they're like, all right, we got to find this motherfucker.
Right, yes. He was a little squirrely himself, because he always seemed to kind of be, kind of like one move ahead of him, every once in a while. He wasn't. I've seen better.
Oh, hell no. He'd always go after really small, petite, brunette women. I mean, he was a big guy,
right.
So once he could easily just, like they were saying, he could easily just come up and grab them and throw them in the trunk of a car and, do whatever,
Here's something. This was after the abduction of Northrop. Another body was found in the woods not long after they discovered Melissa's body, and her name was Valencia K. Joshua, a prostitute who was last seen searching for McDuff's dorm room at this technical college. I guess she was inquiring, walking around looking for this guy for whatever reason. Maybe he had some fucking crack, and they were going to drink some beers and smoke some crack and get all freaky.
They found her remains on campus because he lived on campus.
Right.
It was an on campus deal. Like one of the other students had ended up stumbling upon it because like some of the remains were sticking up out of the ground.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
And here's the thing.
That's where I had, whenever I had heard about him, I was like, well, he was a student out at TSTC, and they even found bodies buried out there. I was like, oh shit.
It seems so obvious.
I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then to think that you went to school out there for culinary.
Yeah.
You went to the same school.
I didn't live out. Yeah, I didn't live on campus or anything.
Yeah.
Man, there's some. Let me tell. Oh yeah, there's some. I mean, it's a technical college. So there's some fucking characters go to that school, let me tell you. So, you know, like, I mean, hell, I went there.
Right. That's funny.
They let me in, for God's sake. So what does that tell you?
Right. Yeah, that speaks volumes, all right.
But yeah.
At this point,
yeah.
you know, I mean, I think at this point, and it was either soon after, you know, the Melissa body was discovered. Maybe he was still around when they discovered Valencia's body, because that was around the same time that they discovered Melissa's. But right around that time, at some point, he had already fled Mexico. Not Mexico, fucking Texas. Okay, he got a new car. He got a fake ID, and he became a garbage collector. So he's trying to start, you know, a new life all over. And I guess I think it had a lot to do with like Melissa's, you know, friends and family or whatnot that kind of pushed to get her story in this case on America's Most Wanted. Because I think they knew who it was, you know, but they had to put it out there like that. That way everybody could be on the lookout. And come to find out, yes, that's exactly what the fuck happened. He became America's Most Wanted's 208th successful capture. He was pulled over during a garbage stop. Was he working? Is that what he was doing? Was he working? Just like
he was
dumping cans?
He was at work and they got his ass. Yep.
Wow. Imagine
he was
that.
at work when they got his ass. Yep. Because one of the guys that worked with him was like, saw him on America's Most Wanted and was like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, I work with that bitch.
Darlene, I know this bitch. I work with him.
I work with him.
I work with this bitch.
Bitch killer.
This is holy shit! This is bitch Broomstick Killer. God damn!
I knew something funny about that character.
Hell yeah, I knew he was a fucking weirdo, but bitch. But yeah, that guy fucking ended up turning him in, man, and sure enough, like gave him his fake alias. I can't remember what the hell it was.
I don't remember what it was either. Yeah.
They ran all that shit, ran that, and then I guess like he had his prints tied to that. So sure enough, they ended up figuring it out. Oh well, it's fucking him. It's it's Kenneth McDuff.
Right. So good old McDuff and stuff.
Good old McDuff and stuff. So they went to that some bitch. They went to Oklahoma and got his ass and brought him back to fucking Waco and started processing everything and got the trial going and because of.
He's still after all of this, because there was like overwhelming, you know, strong circumstantial evidence, eyewitness accounts. It just wasn't good on his part. He still fought tooth and nail like he was fucking innocent, like he didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, he denied the whole thing for fucking ever.
And then I mean damn near all the way up. I mean, there was an interview that was just, you know, I don't know, maybe a month or so, like one of his last interviews, and it was in is it 89? No, 98. I'm dyslexic. No, fucking. Where he was still saying no, I didn't do it. You know, I didn't do it, but yet didn't throughout his time in fucking prison. Didn't he also give investigators the directions to where bodies were?
No, this wasn't until later. Like, I think it was like a week before he was to be executed. He started giving locations.
Right. I thought at some point.
At that point.
Okay.
Yeah, wow. He finally fucking admitted what he had done. Well, with a few of them anyway. Not all of them. Like you were saying, like I think they ended up charging him. I think with like 5 murders, but he's been suspected of anywhere from 9 to 14.
9 to 14
they
is
think.
what I've been seeing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this? Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was that they. I think that they did. He was convicted of 5 of them, though, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. And
I think.
Yeah, his day, he was put to death, lethal injection. The Huntsville prison, November 18th, 1998. McDuff and stuff was done.
He's done. Dead as a fucking doornail.
And you know what? That still didn't. Some of the victims, family and friends still did not find that satisfactory. And I understand what they're saying. They're saying, man, all he had to do was just go to sleep when he died. My family, my loved ones, their last couple minutes on this fucking earth was fucking torture.
Tortured for hours.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have
tortured and raped and just absolutely brutalized.
And so I understand it, but yeah, even they were still pissed even in death. And then there was a big overhaul in Texas. They began to overhaul a lot of their laws and whatnot to make sure that other criminals like McDuff and stuff did not get out on fucking parole. I mean, for fuck's sake, again, he was on death row. He was convicted of a triple fucking homicide. How he could even possibly be considered, how it even went through anyone's mind that this guy is going to be safe and be okay and out walking, the fucking streets. It's just, but they changed a lot of the rules and improved the monitoring upon release. So that's what they said the new rules became known as the McDuff laws. So that whole serial killer case, that's why, it's probably almost like a folklore there in Texas where you guys are at, especially, I guess, the closer you get to like the Waco area, like probably around where you're at. It's almost like a I don't know, just it's like Santa Claus, right?
Like a tall tale.
Like a tall tale, right, yeah.
He's like the boogeyman,
Exactly.
More or less. But yeah, and he's the only, at least in Texas that I know of, he's the only inmate to ever be sentenced to be put on death row,
right,
paroled, and then be put on death row again.
Right, yeah, that just doesn't make sense. Wrap your fucking head around that. I mean,
I mean, come on. But again, there was a whole lot of there was a lot of corruption with political stuff in the prison system at that point in time, and that's what I think it was. Those guys just putting cash in their pockets. That's what I think.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the corruption was just all over the place. When it at that time, like you said, there were so many. I mean, it was only getting worse. I mean, because of the corruption, it was causing these a lot of these criminals that shouldn't walk the streets again. Are out just roaming around, and next thing you know, I didn't fucking see that coming. What? Another body. Oh, who could have possibly foresaw this happening?
Right, and like I was saying, and he's just one of many. Yeah. There were several that were like him that ended up being released.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So
it was crazy.
I mean that just and that's why I dug looking into this guy because to think that this one case and his crimes along with the corruption and all the bullshit going on with the prison system and whatnot. All that combined, man, I mean, changed, the entire, fucking certain parts of their system in an entire state.
Right.
It had that much, hold
that
on.
Much of an impact.
That much of an impact. And it's hard, you'd be hard to fucking, find, I think, another story like that. Yeah, you have murder cases that grip an entire nation via the media, but not so much to the point that the laws are fucking
the
changed.
Legal system, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So that's what really got to me. So do people still talk about this case now where you're at?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah. and there's, like I said, I'm sure we'll get into some of these other ones, in some later episodes. But like I do, the more I started looking into stuff about stuff here, because Waco's, everybody think whenever they hear Waco, they think Branch Davidian.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's mostly what it's known for. But dude, there's a whole bunch of murders and serial killers. Like it's crazy, dude.
It's like, don't sell Waco short, man. We got murders and serial killers up in here.
We got a lot more. We're not just cultists. We got more.
Right? We're not a one-trick pony.
Yeah, exactly. We got more than Dr. Pepper, damn it.
And country music. But,
good old country music.
Good old country. But yeah.
But yeah, man, there's crazy shit here in Waco.
that is. I mean, that would be pretty. I don't know, man. I always once in a while get a hankering. See, that's one of them Texas terms, ain't it? A hankering.
Hankering.
I got hankering. A hanker to whittle me some wood. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. You sit on your porch and whittle wood. I don't. What do you do? Play banjos and guitars and chew on hay. Oh my God!
Oh shit!
I didn't think it would last this long, but yep, here we.
Oh, there we go. Right down the shitter.
Right down the shitter.
Right down the shitter.
Thank God we're pulling up on close to the end of the show, so we made it this far.
Oh shit!
Oh man, but yeah, it is kind of crazy, man. You know, if you're in your respected state, you know, whatever. You start looking in, next thing you know, oh my God, there was this happened. Maybe not right at this moment, but this happened, all around here.
Yeah, right down the road.
Right.
Basically, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit.
That's that kind of shit intrigues me, but I'm sure I'm not alone with some of the patients in the insane asylum. I know some of them, and I know they're right along with me.
Oh yeah,
there's some crazy ones. We got some that should be highly medicated. But anyway, yeah. Any final thoughts on McDuff and stuff? Duff pass. Boo.
Well, man, the Broomstick Killer was a nasty son of a bitch, man. He was just absolutely brutal, and like we were saying, like. I mean, the whole damn legal system here in Texas was changed because of them. I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, shit had to change. I mean, like they're saying, they were letting out 150 guys like him a day.
A day, yeah. Just bam.
Day.
There you go on the streets. Bam. I mean, I was going to say pretty much, the same thing. That's what I take away from it. I guess in the long run, well, they got him back in prison. They did their justice. He was put to death, but not before. He only had three.
Havoc.
Yeah, he only had 3 kills that they know of, I guess, that he was convicted of before he was let out on parole. So now you're looking at another 6 to 11, 6 to 10 more. I mean, give or take.
Right.
More people had to lose their fucking lives due to
all because of that.
Oh yeah. So it's it's a shame. It's a sad case, as it is I guess, one that a lot of good shit came about of some really, really horrible fucking things, and people losing their lives, and when all of it could have very well been avoided, all of it,
exactly.
Maybe minus the 3. From the 60s, yeah. So, maybe that couldn't have been avoided. Who knows? Maybe it could have. But hey, my friend, the white coats have signaled the The outro.
They're coming with the meds.
Coming with the meds.
They're coming with the meds. Not the shot again. No.
I'll take his.
I don't want to get it played.
Oh man, it was fun. It was fun, my friend. And stick around. Don't forget, check out 911dreads.com for past episodes and to stay up with all of the new episodes. And we'll talk to you next week sometime.
I'm alone and scared. I lost my mommy. Can you help me? All I wanted to do was play with you. Please come and play with me. I am so lonely. Why do you seem so scared? I know things no one knows. We're going to die.